Yield.
Would yield. Thank you. You know, as we continue to banter on this importance of trade and free trade versus fair trade, I can't help but be reminded of the pioneer spirit that has taken this nation to moments of greatness, where that greatness was written by the American worker, oftentimes the immigrant who came to this country to pursue the American dream. And what we need to do here is have history instruct us. Let us understand what the greatness of this nation is about. Our best days lie ahead of us if we do that, if we're willing to take lessons from American history, where our sons and daughters who, as our ancestors, many of them immigrants, came to these shores, it was their creative genius, it was their integrity, it was their ingenuity, it was their work ethic, it was their passion as they tethered that American dream that grew these opportunities of manufacturing in our mill towns. They were undeniably the impetus. And today we need to be instructed by that pioneer spirit. We need to understand that if given a fair shot, we can continue to grow upon that greatness. But if we suffocate that American dream, if we suffocate the American worker, if we deny just remuneration for their sweat equity as they pour themselves into that job, if they're denied that job because of these trade deals, these negotiated outcomes that are denying again the worker across the world, then we all lose. It's important for us to understand that we need to invest in the manufacturing base. This is a walking away from history. This is an allowance of greed to take over the equation of job creation. This is about providing for greed for very few. You look at the relationship between the worker and the owner, the manager of these situations. We have reduced the worker. We see what average income is looking like. We see what household income is looking like. We have destroyed this. We have put people into lower paying jobs as they lost that manufacturing sector job. We have not allowed for the job growth. We look at the chart that Representative Kaptur has displayed for us here this evening. It's overwhelmingly convincing when you look at the activity in one direction versus the activity in the opposite direction. It's absolutely blatantly obvious that we need to do better. And we don't do that. We don't begin by relinquishing the role of Congress in this process. A fast track, as it's been talked about here this evening, denies the opportunity for fair debate. It denies for the opportunity for amendments. It requires a simple up or down vote. We don't need to put public policy for worker protection, environmental standards, child labor issues, consumer protection, public safety. All of these items are tossed into these agreements where there isn't the appropriate discussion and where the worker is held down. 25 cents for minimum wage in Vietnam, 75 cents as an average hourly wage, and then tossing people out of the American dream here that they wanted to tether. That pioneer spirit needs to be fed. That pioneer spirit needs to be nurtured. That pioneer spirit needs to be respected. That pioneer spirit needs to be revered. When we do that with sound trade opportunities, we will prosper because we have the intellectual capacity as a nation, we have the work ethic as a nation, we have the creative genius as a nation to prosper. Give us the fair opportunities to grow our economy and allow for trade policy to initiate a new era of greatness for this country. That's when we are going to respond in justice and fairness, in social and economic justice that will allow us again to write these new annals of history that will show yet another era of greatness for the American worker. With that, I yield back to the gentlewoman from Ohio.
Congressman Tonko, thank you for your